Hello students, hope all of you are staying safe. So in the last class we saw about ethanol, ethanoic acid, its manufacture, physical and chemical properties and its uses. Organic compounds in day-to-day life. Organic compounds in day-to-day life. So organic compounds are classified into hydrocarbons, alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, esters and ethers. So you have a brief idea about all these compounds which you have studied in the previous classes. So we will see the uses of organic compound in our day-to-day life. So first we will see about the hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon are used in fuels like LPG, petrol and kerosene. It is also used as a raw material for various synthetic material, and it is also used as a polymeric material like tire, plastic containers. So we use hydrocarbons in making of tires, polythene covers, where we use hydrocarbon in petrol and in LPG gases. So the next we are going to see about alcohols. So alcohols are used as an antiseptic agent. So if you observe this Dettol, everybody are very familiar with antiseptic Dettol. And then alcohols are used in raw materials for various important synthetic materials. So if you observe this image, all these products are made up of synthetic materials. So alcohol plays a very important role in manufacturing the synthetic materials. And then we are going to see about the aldehydes. So formaldehyde is used as a disinfectant, and it is also used as a raw material for synthetic materials. And then we are going to learn about ethers and its uses. That is, ethers are used as anesthetic agents, and it is also used as a painkiller. So ethers are mostly used in the medical field. So now we are going to learn the uses about ketones. So ketones is used as a solvent and a stain remover. So I hope everyone are very familiar with the vanish. So ketone plays a very important role in making stain remover things. And the last one, that is esters. Esters are used in all cooking oils and lipid contain. To see a detailed explanation about soaps. So soaps are sodium or potassium salts of long chain of carboxylic acid, which are also called as fatty acids. Soaps are sodium or potassium salts of long chain carboxylic acid, which are called as fatty acids. So soap requires two major raw materials. One is fat and the another one is alkali. So now we will see the importance of fat and alkali in the manufacturing of soap. So why we are using a fat in soap? Because fat is a shorter length carbon chain that will increase the water solubility and the cleaning ability. So while adding fat to the soap, it will increase the water solubility as well as the cleaning ability. So what is the importance of alkali in a soap? Alkalis are nothing but soluble salts. Alkalis are soluble salts that are effective in cleaning fabrics and removing dirt without excessive rubbing. That is, when we use an alkali in the soap, it will be very effective in cleaning the fabrics. Fabrics is nothing but the clothes we wear. So the alkali are of two types. Most commonly used in the preparation of soap is sodium hydroxide. I repeat, sodium hydroxide. We commonly call it as caustic soda. And the another one is, before that you can observe the image. This is the image of sodium hydroxide. And the another alkali that we use in the manufacturing of soap is potassium hydroxide, and commonly we will call it as caustic potash. So if you observe this image, this is a caustic potash. A potassium based soap creates more water soluble product than a sodium based soap. So this is very important. If we are manufacturing a soap using caustic potash, that is potassium hydroxide, then that soap creates more soluble water soluble product than a sodium hydroxide soap. So based on these features, we have two categories of soap. First one is the hard soap. The second one is the soft soap. The first one is the hard soap and the second one is the soft soap, hard soap. So soaps which are prepared by the saponification of oil or fats with caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide, are called as hard soaps. And now we are going to learn a very important definition, and that is saponification. So what is meant by a saponification? Saponification is a process by which the triglycerides are reacted with sodium or potassium hydroxide to produce glycerol and a fatty acid salt called soap. So soap is a combination of glycerol and a fatty acid salt. Hope all of you are very clear with the definition what I have taught you now. Now, hard soaps are usually used for washing purposes. So, if you observe this soap, this is a rinse soap, we usually use this to wash our clothes. And now we are going to see about the soft soaps. Soaps which are prepared by the saponification of oil or fats with potassium salts are called as soft soaps. They are used for cleansing the body. So if you observe this image, this is a hammam soap. We have enormous number of soft soaps to see a detailed explanation of detergents. So why detergent? Why do we prefer detergent than soaps? So there are many reasons. So we will see one by one. First thing, the development of synthetic detergent is the biggest achievement in the field of cleansing. These are salts of sulfonic acids or alkyl hydrogen sulfates in comparison with soap, which are salts of carboxylic acids. So this is an image of carboxylic acid. The detergents do not form precipitate with hard waters. As we know, the hard waters will contain calcium and magnesium ions, although the detergents would not form the precipitate. So the cleansing action of the detergent is better than soaps. So this is the main reason for the invention of detergents. So detergents are prepared by adding sulfuric acid to the processed hydrocarbon obtained from petroleum. This chemical reaction results in the formation of molecules similar to the fatty acid in soap. So we know the soap is made up of a combination of glycerol and fatty acid. Like that, this sulfuric acid, when added to processed hydrogen, will give similar fatty acid like soap in detergent. Then an alkali is added to the mixture to produce the surfactant molecules. In the beginning of the class itself, I told what is meant by a surfactants. And these surfactant molecules which do not bond with the minerals present in the hard water, thus preventing the formation of the precipitates. So the surfactant molecules will not bond with the minerals like calcium and magnesium which are present in the hard water, and this prevents the formation of from their precipitates. So now, in addition to the surfactants, we have enormous number of chemicals present in detergent. So the modern detergents contain several ingredients. I have listed it below. So the first one is called as sodium silicate. The first one is called as sodium silicate. It is used for corrosion and ensures that the detergent does not damage the washing machine. So most of us have washing machine in our homes, so we can't use soap to wash the clothes while we are using in washing machine. So we obviously prefer detergents. So that detergent should not damage the washing machine. So we have a chemical that is called as sodium silicate. So this is an image of sodium silicate. So the second one is fluorescent. It is a whitening agent that gives the glow to the clothes. So this is the image of fluorescent. If you observe this image, this is nothing but a regular detergent what we use in our day-to-day life. You can even try this. You can take a little bit of detergent in your hand and you can see, so that you can observe the sodium silicate and fluorescent particles present in it. So the third one is the oxygen bleaches like sodium perborate to remove certain stains. So we have stains in our clothes. So the main use of sodium perborate is to remove those stains. So these are also added in the detergent. So this is the image of sodium perborate. And then we have sodium sulfate, which will prevent the caking of detergent powder. As you know the meaning of caking, the detergent powder should not stick together. It should be loosely packed so that it will be soluble. The solubility will be more. So this is the image of sodium sulfate. And then we have enzymes, which breaks down some stain caused by blood and vegetable juices. So if I have a stain of vegetable juice, then normal detergent won't be effective in cleaning in it. So nowadays some enzymes are added in those detergents so that the stains can be removed. So these are enzymes. So as I told you before, you can take some detergent from your home, keep it in your hand and just observe, so that you can see sodium perborate, sodium sulfate, enzymes, etc. And even certain chemicals are added for pleasant smell. And now we are going to learn about the cleansing action of soap. Soap molecule contain of two chemically distinct parts. Just remember, two chemically distinct parts. So one part is the polar end, which has a short head and it is a carboxylate group. And the second one is a non-polar end having a long tail made up of hydrocarbon chain. So the first one is the polar end. It is short and it is carboxylate group. And the second one is the non-polar. It has a long tail and then it is made up of hydrocarbon chain. So if you see this, this is a long chain and this is a short chain. So hydrophilic, that is this one, is water loving. It attracts to the water. And this one, that is the hydrophobic, is water hating. So it won't attract the water, but it will attract the dirt. That is, it traps the dirt. So these points are very important. I repeat, hydrophilic is a water loving component and it attracts the water, and hydrophobic is water hating and it traps the dirt. Now, when a soap or a detergent is dissolved in the water, the molecules join together as a cluster. What is meant by a cluster? It'll be some like a ball. It'll be like small balls. It'll be clusters, and that is called as micelles. So if you see here, observe this image, I'll explain you. There are long hydrocarbon chains attached to themselves to the oil and dirt. So the long chain is hydrophobic. If you consider this is the oil or dirt, this long chain attracts the oil or dirt. The dirt is thus surrounded by a non-polar end of the soap molecules. The charged carboxylate end of the soap molecules makes the micelles to soluble in the water, and that's how the dirt is washed away from this with the soap. Hope all of you have understood what I have taught you today. Thank you.